Okay, so I almost have everything. I just need that.
Hi there.
This is good all the way through.
Are you sure all of this?
Everything is unheld.
Are you sure everything in here is ungrounded?
Nope, but we're gonna find out. All right, I'm gonna get in. Follow, you know what to do. No. You don't remove the side ones. Those are very important.
Just the
Wait,
wait.
wait. Oh no! Let's be tall so we can see stuff.
All right, Chad.
Choo.
Let's go.
Choo.
Choo choo.
Go forth. Go forth, my
Oh shit.
I think you missed the whole.
It's all going except Biff and Pal.
I'm glad I'm recording. What broke over here? Oh. What happened?
It's the 3rd of January, 2025, and Shoeless's first flick film appears on my recommended page. Out of curiosity, I click on it. What I see convinces me, immediately and wholeheartedly, that I need to play Rumble.
But I think I found it.
So I do. I buy the game and begin learning how it works, right after I finish the video.
Sure.
How did I do that?
After considerable effort getting it to work, and even more summoning my first disc, I load into my first match. And I get stomped. But after that, I enter a fateful park.
What the?
At this moment, I felt time stop. The path forward was made clear to me. I had to claim this power as my own. With my newly found clarity of vision, I headed back to the gym and began trying to replicate what I saw. And I failed. I had no idea what I was doing, and at this point, I barely understood how the game even worked. Every time I tried to land on the wall, it broke. You see, in Rumble, when you land on a structure, it breaks. If it has explode, that'll shoot you forward too, but I'm getting ahead of myself. The structure doesn't always break. Instead, sometimes you break. The structure deals damage and your iron boots fail you. What causes this is simple, landing on the edges. And yet, this still isn't the full picture. Less common than those last two interactions, sometimes you simply slide off it. This only happens at the very lowest of speeds, so it certainly couldn't be how the car worked, right? Apparently, it was. To be honest, though, progress stagnated from here. As a fresh black belt, I had many more important things to focus on. And so, without the wisdom of the battle points to come, I let my vision die. For weeks, I never thought about the car. I had picked up Volatile and Surge in an attempt to become better just before my first season of Pork, a bi-monthly tournament in which I would get obliterated by many of my future friends. There was still a glimmer of hope, though. At this point, I was picking up something of a signature move, which would push me back into the throes of automotive engineering. This move, an incredibly simple hold, bump, and throw, renewed my interest in using hold to move around. Sure, it wasn't a car, but it was only a few steps off. By this point, I had enough skill to start experimenting again. I came back to the car while hanging out in a park on my own, discovering something groundbreaking. Suspension. You see, ungrounded structures can be pushed around freely, and if you put a grounded structure on each side of an ungrounded one, you can use the pressure generated by the hold to keep the middle structure, or the suspended one, in place. Once I had discovered this, the first major breakthrough in car tech, I could construct larger and more advanced vehicles. The first of which was the motorcycle. It used a suspended pillar held up by two cubes to create a never-before-seen car design. Even with this great leap forward in technology, the community at large still scoffed at the car. It had no place in the meta, was far too slow to be set up, and would almost always backfire if you had a good opponent. I wouldn't be discouraged, however, so I pushed through it all. I was determined to achieve my vision of a complete automobile, whatever it took. But that isn't what happened. No, after the motorcycle, I rested on my laurels. One success was enough to make me forget what I was working towards, and instead of advancing, I reverted to a shameful, volatile, adamant playstyle. There was still progress during this period, though. I played a decent amount with Cool Cat, learning the ins and outs of Explode, and gaining an ally in my future progress towards the automobile. Had I not met him in my first Pork season, I may never have completed the project. This was also when I met Thormac, a very vocal guard player known for baby jailing people and being annoying. Wait, what's baby jail? Well, in Rumble, there are a few player states. A player can be grounded and able to summon structures, or ungrounded and unable. These are both important, but there's a secret third one too. It's called the congealed state, very similar to ungrounded, but with a couple of big differences. While congealed, you can't use the flowstone or iron boots. There are only a couple of ways to enter this state. Taking damage in the air or being pushed by Explode will both congeal a player, and if you can do one of these without giving them momentum, they will be stuck on any structures beneath them. That is baby jail. Oh, also guard will congeal you. I forgot about that. But anyway, Thormac was another important ally in this endeavor. He would be indispensable-ish when the time came to finally build the automobile. Finally, this is where I began making YouTube videos. I started on a whim after seeing the dire lack of content on YouTube, and received a very warm welcome. People really seemed to like what I was posting, which pushed me to become a little less focused on raw skill, and a little more on exploring the ins and outs of Rumble. This doubtlessly contributed to my future progress. April 9th, 2025 was the day I discovered how to change directions. With 2 pillars suspending a cube, it was possible, yet exceedingly difficult, to mount and subsequently change directions by pushing closer to one pillar. This was a huge breakthrough, made possible by suspension tech, but ultimately far more important. This established the very core of automotive design, a grounded wrapper surrounding suspended internals. This is the capsule design strategy. With this newfound control, I was more excited than ever. I suddenly had an incredible tool at my disposal, and yet, nothing changed. Just like before, one success was not enough to drive me forward. I got stuck trying to figure out how to mount safely and stay there, as well as how to get directional control across 2 dimensions. And so, no more progress was made. Not a single new discovery for well over a month, since between school and Pork I just had bigger concerns. Speaking of which, my second Pork season had begun. This time I met Dimon188, a high-speed generalist who pulverized me in our tournament match. As with Cool Cat though, it led to us becoming friends, and later on, as a result, I met Jackie Chan99. I've never actually fought him though, so I don't know how he plays. Beyond meeting these two, nothing else of note happened. I did upload fairly regularly around this time, unthinkable I know, but nothing related to cars. Truly, these were the dark ages of the rock vehicle. This continued for another month. All hope seemed lost. I would never again think of the car, of my vision from that park on that fateful day. And yet, by a miracle, that would not come to pass. I entered a park, just like the first, the one that showed me the path, and a player I've never seen before, or since, was just sitting there, menacingly. He was in a chair, the likes of which I was pretty unfamiliar with, and with it, I felt time freeze again. At this moment, a new idea shot into my mind. What if I used Explode to mount the car? It would solve so many issues. No need for dangerous jump, or guard, or even baby jails. It would just work. And so, I set out to complete the automobile. Now, every piece was in place for the automobile, as if fate had reached out and woven the path for me all those months ago. At my back, I had more friends than I could count, and within myself, the knowledge needed to push forward Rumble's technology forever. Now, it was only a matter of time. The first step was to put my new idea to the test. I quickly set up a testing apparatus of a few walls and a cube to land on. I then built a small path of more cubes to roll along, and used an innovative setup with a pillar, ball, and disc to congeal myself with Explode. This first test was a wild success. On the very first try, I managed to bump into and back out of the apparatus, just as expected. The next test was on roofs. You see, I already knew how to build a roof from the house I'd built with Lulek a few months earlier, but to put it in a car was something of a challenge. One would have to make a sort of slot for the roof, one that applies enough pressure to prevent it from falling out without destabilizing the hold. I tested this very simply with the following design. And yet again, it worked. With the major challenges out of the way, all I had to do was engineer a car that can meet all the criteria. After pouring my blood, sweat, and tears into designing a working vehicle, I finally settled upon one very innovative design. Effectively the exact same as the second testing apparatus, but modified to more reliably hold the wall and with suspended internals. This was a return to the capsule design from a few months back, and when combined with a roof, provided a remarkably stable mount. The only thing left to do was execute upon it. Although, that was easier said than done. And so, one day, the stars aligned once more. I joined a half-empty voice chat in the Shoeless Dojo after seeing Cool Cat, and watched it fill up as I began working on the vehicle, a mere 2 weeks after the design had been completed. I then saw as a number of my old friends came in to help. Dimon, Thormac, Jackie Chan, and a few more newcomers willing to drop everything and work on the bleeding edge of Rumble transportation. So we toiled for over an hour, failing once, then failing again, and again, and again. But I could sense that with each failure came not lost time, but wisdom. And so with patience, we completed the automobile.
There are no pillars that explode, sir. They do not.
They do.
They do.
And on Swifey's.
I've removed the... I am not.
Format, we need an air view. We can try to
You are. How about you die?
Come on, man. Guys, stay away too far.
Please.
Trust me, man. I get.
Run him over, bro. Just run him over.
Run him over. Singularity.
Oh no.
You did it.
Singularity. Oh my god! It just collapsed.
Let's go.
Also, also RDM, as your host, try and do any flight while Thormac is doing that. It's terrifying.
I spawn now.
It was gonna be funny.
We ran over a child, says Jackie.
Yeah, I've done this before. With Horvac and Duel before.
Okay. Okay, what do I even have to say? So, I guess first I should resolve the train situation. So, what you saw at the beginning, was a train we made a few hours after the car, between me, Bivin, Hollow, Contagious, Ches, Swifey, and Cheese. There were a whole bunch of us. But what's interesting about that whole situation is it would have worked if we didn't leave one pillar grounded. You see, the suspension on it, it didn't work right. I was missing a hold on a pillar that was grounded that traditionally was ungrounded. So that was not great. And what else? Yeah, I mean, outside of that, there wasn't much. I will put up Hollow's perspective real quick. Go!
Choo choo.
Choo choo! Go forth! Go forth, my train!
I think you missed the whole.
That's going in the scrapbook.
Simply splendid.
You missed the
My controller.
You missed the most important hole.
That's going in the scrapbook.
Alright, okay, you're back. So, I've got more, probably. Yeah, this video is the culmination of everything I've learned over the past, God, 5 months or so, I think, doing YouTube. I've learned so much. I've become such a great editor in comparison to my former self. And you know, this video really is first attempt at something a little more narratively driven and more personal, right? I don't think I've ever really talked about my history in Rumble before. Oh yeah, new outfit. This is what I am now. Yeah. Because of the update, they released laminar gauntlets, which nobody else can see but us. Whoever's wearing it. Also, you lose it whenever the game starts, but I need to quit meandering. I could not have done this without help from so many people. Cool Cat, Jackie Chan, Thormac, Dimon, and I didn't list them as much, but Ches, he helped extensively. Will Ninja, he was a great help. He was in VC with, like, Cool Cat while we were, working on the final car. And, my god, did they do a great job with me. I mean, they put up with so much. It took, like, an hour. It was not fun. It wasn't even fun for me, and I was doing the most stuff. So yeah, I'm super grateful for the community and everybody who's been helping me, and I really hope you enjoyed the video. I think I did a pretty good job, but, you know, that's up to you. I mean, yeah. Well, I just don't like to engagement bait, but I will say, you specifically, you should comment what you think, because I need to get better. And, or if you want, shoot me a DM on Discord, let me know what you want me to know. Yeah. It is 2 o'clock in the morning. I've been working on this for like 5 hours now. Anyway, I'm gonna stop taking up your time. I will see you guys around. Have a great one. Thank you for spending all your time watching my inane garbage.